I love essential oils, and typically men just don't, they're just not that into it. Truth be told, I was the same way at first. I didn't like them. But we started thinking about what is it about oils that men just have these huge objections to? To help me understand some of the reasons why men don't like oils, I've invited my buddy Antonio in Guatemala to join me on a Zoom call. And there he is, he's all set up. How you doing, man?
Hey, kid, how are you?
Good. Good, you're doing good?
I'm doing awesome, yeah. Just, waking up, setting up for the day.
Nice, yeah, very good. And you're gonna be going to work here in a little bit, right? And you're a teacher, right?
I am a teacher, yeah.
Great. Now, what age group of kids are you teaching?
I'm teaching kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Are you teaching them about oils?
No. They see me, they ask me a lot of questions about what is that?
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually have a diffuser in my room, in my classroom.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say my sister and my wife has taught some, and they've bought. We know plenty of teachers that have diffusers in their classroom all the time, and they say it really helps. They know the difference. They know the difference.
We already say that. Yeah, we all say that.
Nice.
If we have that kid, that one that don't pay attention, he started to pay attention now.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Well, man, thanks for joining me today. I'm really glad you're doing this. Before we did this, I gave you the task of coming up with your 5 top reasons why men don't like oils, and I come up with my own list on my own as well. So why don't we start? Let's see if we come up with some of the same things. Okay. So what's your list? And you don't have to do it in any order, but just what's your list?
Okay. So before I started with all of these, I want to say that I started being introduced to essential oils a long time ago, but I didn't know.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I didn't know, and I didn't know the difference between one or the other. I knew that there were essential oils existing in the world, but I didn't know anything about it. But when you got me to think about why men are afraid of oil or hate oil, then there is a statement. That's a statement, right?
Yeah.
And it's a really strong statement. So I started picking up my brain, thinking about me when I was in that situation at the beginning, and that was about 7 years ago. And one of the answers that I got is emotionally unprepared. I don't know if that's a big word. But I can break it down a little bit. But I came out with this. We as men are emotionally unprepared to embrace the idea of using essential oils.
Wow.
And here's the reason why I say emotionally unprepared.
Okay.
Because we tend to compare ourselves. We don't like saying this, but we deep in we like to compare with what women are doing, and we kind of head in the opposite direction.
Okay.
And that emotionally unprepared comes from you. The next reason that I put here is cultural awareness. Cultural unawareness.
Cultural unawareness?
Unawareness, yeah, because it has a lot to be with where you grew up and how you grew up, and how you surrounded around you prepare you for making those type of decisions.
Sure. Okay.
The first one have to be with usually this statement of using essential oils is like, oh yeah, the women's use essential oils.
It's girly.
Everything smells. They love it.
That's one of my reasons. It's girly.
Yeah, because they love it.
Yeah.
We hate it.
Yeah.
They like to spend money. Share. They like to spend money, and we are emotionally unprepared to accept that reason. That because they love spending money and they love using things that smell. We haven't get there to the reason of the meaning of using essential oil yet. Are you talking about the first thing that you heard when you say, "Hey, do you use essential oils?" What? Are you kidding me? Are you great? What? No. My wife uses it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
that's a girly thing. Yeah, that's
that's a
something my
girly
wife
thing. So
does. Yeah.
that's emotionally unprepared.
Okay. Okay.
And this answer I'm giving you to you right now is because after 7 years of using essential oils. So I'm looking back. I'm not like unaware of why I'm answering this question. Okay.
Uh,
And then the second reason, I'm coming from the top, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right?
gotcha. Okay. Very good.
So cultural unawareness is where I grew up. Yes, the concept of essential oils and fragrance and things that smell were very high top things. But then the propaganda and the cultural how I say this oof, I need to find some words, but
The pressure, the peer pressure.
The cultural pressure of yes, Michael Jordan used Tony Bahamas and he used Adidas and blah blah blah, and then they like I need to do that, but like to become a good man and like a big man and like a macho, the macho thing.
Sure.
You have to use those things. So I was always like working so hard when I was young to like save money and buy that bamboo smell Tony Bahamas perfume and fragrance and tennis and Adidas and blah blah blah. I grew up in that culture. Unawareness of essential oils are vital points for women or men, and they're good. They're safe. They're nice. But it was a girl thing. So because it was a girl thing, it was also becoming a cultural unawareness.
Absolutely.
Men are not just for women.
Right.
All right. So that's my second reason. My third one, I know I'm coming 5, 4, now 3. Yeah.
3. So now you're on 3.
Yeah. So the third reason why men hate oil is because we like certain type of like symmetrical smell. And that's kind of a weird reason. Yeah. But when some smell kind of kick off in a high frequency or in a really low frequency, we hate it. Like we grew up using certain smell, and then you want to stick with that for like the rest of your life.
So what you're saying is men don't like change.
No, right? We don't like changing things, especially smells. Like if your body changes something and you smell differently, man, you hate it.
Right? Yeah,
then,
it's too different.
Everybody starts asking you like, "What is that? What are you using?"
Sure.
Like, things like that. And that's kind of a little bit related with deodorant. Once you stick with a deodorant and you change it, man, you're screwed. Like your body's gonna smell bad and your body's gonna smell different.
Sure.
So we don't like change in that.
Very good.
The type of things. So that would be kind of my third reason, and it's funny because it also have to be with the other 2 top reasons I mentioned it. And it's because when you stick with a cultural belief, man, it's so hard to just walk away from that. It's just like if you're not using the aerosol, those
aerosol cans,
then you're not a man. Like you something is wrong with you, and that's just like not easy to do.
Right.
Well, then coming down, I'm going to my second reason. If I come in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. And
it has to be with your circle of friends. It actually do.
Okay.
And it's not just a external thing. I don't want to put it on like the people are like surrounding you.
Sure.
But who surround you, it actually makes a huge difference for you to make this type of decision. Like you look at, man, do I have a friend that uses essential oils? And then you say like, let me send a text to everybody. Hey,
right.
Do you guys use essential oils?
All of a sudden, you're feeling very isolated, and you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to break the mold. You want to be the only weird one.
Yes. And if you do that, then
she is so cute. By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but she is so cute.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's my charmer. So, that's something that I thought about it from the beginning. Like when I saw my wife coming home with a huge box of essential oils, and I just look at them and say, "Wow, those bottles are very colorful." And then I started like kind of having a little bit of emotional breakdown. Like, am I gonna be using this? And then I don't know, but I wasn't like I was teaching Zumba, I was teaching dance, I was doing like a lot of stuff. I was around a lot of men and friends. And I say, when I'm gonna be starting talking about this with my friends, like when the conversations are gonna pop out and I'm gonna be like ridiculous, embarrassed, and I have to be with that. Like we men hate being embarrassed. And it comes if you remember, I say emotionally unprepared.
Yeah.
It's because we are emotionally unprepared to have this conversation, even with our friends or family or brother or sister. And it has to be with who we grew up with too. I mean, it had to be. We are the only two men, my brother and I, in between like a whole bunch of women in the family and like 21 cousins. And it just became cultural. It became cultural. And then now it becomes personal and you say, hey, I don't have nobody using these things. How I'm gonna like approach it?
Yeah.
And one of the things I remember is that my wife loved it. Getting up a little bottle of essential oil and say, hey, come here, honey. And then she puts some of the essential oil in front of everybody. And I say, okay, yeah, do it. Like, do whatever you sorry. And I think it was her response saying, I don't care what people think about this. She said, I love essential oil, and it's going to be part of our life, no matter what. All right, so we're going down to reason number one.
Run number one, let's have it.
Yeah, and I think it is related with knowledge. So knowledge is power, and when you know something, you kind of lead by those knowledge. And not knowing the facts behind essential oils, it's a huge reason for a man to not use it. We tend to rationalize. Wait, she's gonna help me with the answer.
Okay.
Okay, she has something to say to the camera.
Oh, yeah, go for it. What is it?
I'm going to be a ballerina and a doctor and a mom.
No way. A ballerina, a doctor, and a mom?
Yep.
Fantastic. You can do all of those things. That is awesome.
Because Mama a doctor. So Mama is a special doctor. She want to be a mama, a doctor, and a ballerina.
Wow. Awesome.
She's my charming. So when you have knowledge, and I understood this very young, very, very young, that knowledge is power. And it has the power to turn you away from things or join things, So when you know something, you can use that knowledge to move forward or step back, right?
Right.
And what I knew about essential oils was not a good thing. I mean, they smell,
right,
and they were not like a man thing,
Yeah.
And that knowledge, it just pulled me out. It was pulled me out. It was like, nope, like no, there is no fact behind it. There is no science behind it. I mean. Like, show me things. Show me things. And why should I use essential oil?
Right.
And that's my fight.
That's a fantastic. I got to tell you, your list is way deeper than mine. You did an excellent job. Like that was amazing.
I advise you. This is a 7-year going back.
Sure.
And look at myself.
That was fantastic. My reasons were were so surfacey in comparison. But they have some similarities. Okay. Now my reasons, and this is in no particular order. But I've heard men say this. They are hocus pocus, voodoo mama jumu nonsense. Okay.
I want to try to correlate it, but keep going.
Yeah, no, and then they are girly. I already said that one. They're girly. And then I said, men don't want to smell like flowers. Because a lot of them do. They smell like flowers. And then number 4 is they think that oil only comes out of the ground and goes in their cars and lawnmowers, and that it should never be gently applied on the back of their ears. And then finally, they simply believe that they don't work. They don't believe it. Yeah, simply. So I know your reasons. You said before that your reasons were based on your experience, and so that means to me you held a lot of those. Did you hold all of those things yourself?
I couldn't hold all of those.
Okay.
Because my wife was very stern about educating yourself. Like when I say the knowledge one,
Right.
when you know something and it became powerful for you,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't hold all of them. And the one that I broke
Yeah.
pretty soon, it was the knowledge one. I needed to know if they work or not. So you mentioned it. They don't work.
Yeah.
That's the reason that we have. And I said that before because I have knowledge.
Yeah.
Because my knowledge were they don't work like that. Like I was brain.
Just by default. Because of your culture, because of everything, by default, look, you present this to me, I'm going to reject it.
Yeah. They don't work.
Yeah, okay.
So I was holding that one very strong, and that was the first one I broke. So that didn't work. But the one that I hold it the most was the circle of friends, the cultural awareness.
Sure.
I call it that.
Yeah.
And it's when you surround with people that you are afraid of showing what are you doing, who you are. There is a lot of deep more things in there.
Yeah.
I
feel that too. I feel that too when I make videos.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I'm going to post this video about these oils, and my guy friends are just going to
and
get
there
it.
is a lot of shatter idea comes to your mind saying like, shoot, what like this one, like, what he's gonna think about, like my brother, like this one, it's like you're thinking about all of them at the same time when you're doing certain videos. So when you say certain words, people comes in your mind right away. So I was thinking about that when I was about to start using it, you know. And I was using. This is interesting. I was using them without accepting that I was using them. So it was like.
You were in denial of just.
In denial. In denial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Well, so let me really quick, and I know because you got to get off to work. Let me ask you how that changed your life real quick, just to kind of round out our whole story, your whole story here today.
Right. Yeah.
Let me know when you started getting over those, I guess we'll call them objections or reasons that you had to not use those. When you started doing it, how has it changed your life?
Yeah. So at the beginning, as I say, I was using them. One way or the other, I was using them because my wife was very persistent, and they all are. They all are.
Yep.
And I didn't realize it. I didn't want to like be conscious about that. As you say, I was in denial, and I in the back of my mind, it started changing something. It started changing the knowledge of they work, and they do, because I was going through a lot of other things I didn't want it to like get it back on the surface of my mind, like. I was going through a lot of headaches, or I was going through a lot of emotional pressure. When I started using it, I was living in Minnesota, in the United States, and I did not speak English before. You won't believe this, but I became English became my third language.
Wow!
Just like 6 years ago. Yep. So it was a year of a process of trying to understand and try to speak English. So that brought a lot of pressure to myself. So I was holding a lot of, grudge and headaches, and I wasn't sleeping very well. So the first foo mama thing that she prepared for me was a roll-on for sleeping, and it was just amazing. I was sleeping like a baby. I came from work. I was working on construction and landscaping in the United States, and I was crushed. Like I was so exhausted and tired. And I remember the ninja. I don't know if you do ninja, but she brought the ninja home. And when she brought the ninja home, that was a game changer. And my life started to change, My body started to respond better, more energy. I was sleeping well. I said, hey, honey, thank you. I had to say, thank you, honey. It's working. Yeah. So I broke my fifth, my number one, like in the list,
Yeah.
I broke my objection of I did not know anything about them,
Wow. Yeah.
And when I started using the essential oils, then I used all of those reasons against myself and started to researching oils. And I was like a lion. I was like, my wife didn't have a lot of time for like, doing all the research and going to the classes.
Sure.
I was going first. Like I was the first one like ready.
Wow. Okay.
To get going and go to the class. And we drove 45 minutes from Minneapolis to St. Cloud to go to a class. Like it was like, let's go. We got
this. We gotta figure this out. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the Oil Man Keith channel, I guess, a vlog. It was, over this past couple of weeks that we've been talking, it has been an absolute pleasure. You're a great guy. I've loved getting to know you, and I hope that we can keep the friendship going here. And I hope you'll be back with me sometime soon because you're a very intelligent guy. Some of the things you haven't talked about here that you've talked about before have really been educating for me. It's really been helpful.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for that, and thanks for sharing your story. And hopefully some guys watch this and they say they get to that point, like you said, where they can at least give it a try. Because we're all the same. We're not gonna just do it, So, but if we can get over that hump and get over those rejections and those objections to the product and give it a try for ourselves, like the amount of oils that Young Living has are just for men are just outstanding. Just for men. It's outstanding. And it's not marketed well. We don't have Michael Jordan, out there selling it to us. But, but we've got Antonio, right? So and that's good enough. It was good enough for me, man. If I wasn't an oiler already, after watching you, I definitely would be giving it a try. So I hope other guys, if you're out there watching, give it a try as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome.
Awesome. So maybe you throw out already the next challenge. Maybe we should talk about oil for men.
Oil for men.
What is out there?
Absolutely, we can definitely do that.
Definitely. You know what? When I started this, I did not know the difference between essential oils and something else out there. I did not know.
Sure. Yeah.
So
neither did I. I was full on clueless when my wife brought him home. Kelly brought him home, and she's like, "Here, we're gonna try this stuff." I was that guy. I was like, okay, not going to work. Not gonna work on me. I just, nothing ever does, and all that stuff.
Right.
It's just, but sure, lo and behold, here I am, Oil Man Keith, loving it. So,
man, we have the next reason to do another one of these.
Yes, we definitely will, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks everybody for watching. Look in the description somewhere below or in the vicinity of this video for Antonio's link on Instagram, right? And Facebook. We'll put links. We'll put Instagram and Facebook there. If you want to connect with him, ask him questions and all that stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Antonio. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, that's soon. Bye.
All right. So thanks again for watching. This was just a really awesome call with Antonio. Thank you, Antonio, again. That was just incredible. I think for me, the biggest takeaway was that men really need to get out of their comfort zone. And when you talk about oils, that's just not something that's in their comfort zone. So, it's gonna take a lot more effort with men to get them using essential oils. And one of the things I realized was Antonio said his first experience with them, the actual use of them, was for sleep. When he used the oils for sleep, that's when he was like, this could work, And my story is very similar. I was using it for allergies at first and stuff like that, and it was helping. But when I had oils for sleep, whoa, that was when I really saw how effective they are. So the big takeaway for me is to get to know your guys, get to know your buddies, and say, hey, what do you need? Be vulnerable. Say, hey, look, I had trouble sleeping, I have trouble with this and with that. Open up a little bit, and you'll be surprised that little bit of effort you make could really change someone's life. All right, thanks again for watching.